Hello, everybody, and welcome to Left Hand, Right Brain. I hope this podcast finds you well, and I know I say it every episode, but I say it because I really mean it. For all your likes and subscribes, your rates and reviews, appreciate. And if you like what you're hearing on this week's LHRB podcast, you'll probably like all the other podcasts under the LHRB banner, such as Let's Get Drunk and Talk About Your Wedding with hosts Jen and Mal. Had a fun episode. We did a double date Reddit AMA thing. It's a real fun one I suggest you check out. Or you could check out Help Me, I'm Scared, another podcast about horror films with Katie Bowman. If you're not a big scaredy cat like me, you'll probably like it. And even if you are a scaredy cat like me, you could still find something to enjoy. You can find those podcasts as well as the backlogs of the Left Hand Right Brains, the JDJOs, the Appetites podcast, the Live Hand Right Brains. You can find those wherever you get podcasts. Or now you can go to YouTube. Find us on YouTube. I mean, you're probably watching this on YouTube if you're seeing me in person, to be honest. Those YouTube numbers are going up. Thank you so much for everybody who's subscribing, liking, and all, smashing that like button on YouTube. It really helps. Man. You read one book on how to do YouTube stuff, and that's how you talk. I'm really fighting it. Anyway, that would really help. Anywho, this week's podcast is with guest Mo Alexander. He is a road dog, a touring comedian. He's been around for a long time out of Memphis, Tennessee. He's been something of a comedy legend here in Denver since Anthony Crawford got to town about 10 years ago when I started comedy. A real good friend of Anthony Crawford, past guest on the show. You should go check out those podcasts if you can. Anthony always talked about him as like a mentor, someone he looked up to, someone who gave him a lot of advice in comedy. And Anthony's been bringing him to Denver. Mo's been coming on a consistent basis a couple times a year. For the last, I don't even know how many years, but he's worked his way up to being at Comedy Works now. Worked his way up. It's a weird system. Comedy Works doesn't just let anybody on. You kind of got to prove that you can sell tickets, that you're a good enough comedian. Wendy Curtis, the owner of Comedy Works, really vets those kinds of comedians, but he's made enough of a name for himself just in Denver by coming and doing all the local shows, getting booked for, a week at a time. That he's at a certain status here at Denver now. He performs at Comedy Works. I suggest you follow him on Instagram at Mo Alexander. You can find any of his stuff there. He's got a couple albums. His last one is called Mo Possum Blues. He gets into his whole story of how this baby possum poncho came into his life, and now he's got 4 more baby ponchos. They're non-releasables. We get into it in the podcast. It's real fun. Possums are actually pretty cute because Mo was actually a guest on Katie's podcast first, and we were texting back and forth about locations and times, trying to set up a time for the podcast. And Mo was like, "Hey, can I bring my possums?" And my immediate response was, "No, I do not want possums in my house. Okay, we already have a dog and a cat. I don't need a wild animal." And boy, was I wrong. My wife apparently, she schooled me, and then Mo schooled me even more that possums are a pretty cool pet. Pretty cool creature. I don't know about pet in general. They can be pets, but we'll get into that in the podcast. Mo's a super cool guy, hella funny dude. I'm honored that he would be on the pod. Thank you so much for taking the time. His partner was here as well. She's off to the side of me in the podcast. She chimes in from time to time, talking about what she feeds the possum, things like that. There's a whole possum chronicle. I tried to move the mic over so she could talk into it as best as she could, but the way I'm recording things now, it's a learning process for me on, how to make the audio sound the best it can be without getting rid of certain things. It's a work in progress. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I think you'll enjoy the episode with the technical issues from time to time. Bear with me. I'm working on it. it's a one-man show here. I produce, I'm hosting, I book it, I do a lot. Okay. And I just want you to know that, dear listener, I'm doing my best. Okay. Again, thank you so much for being on. I'm excited for you guys to hear it. So I'm done with the intro. Let's get to this week's LHRB podcast with Mo Alexander. Follow him on Instagram, his website, Mo Alexander. Listen to his album, Mo Possum Blues. And go see him live if you can. This podcast is part of Mile High Life, produced by Left Hand Right Brain Productions, a.k.a. me. Mo Alexander here in the pod studio. LHRB studio is what we call it here. We're just rolling into it after a Help Me I'm Scared pod. Did you enjoy that?
I did.
Did you get scared?
That movie, I was upset last night because it didn't scare me like it did as a child. But it's I got to go and critique it now and look at it as an adult, like to find out all the actual problems with that movie. But it was fun. I mean, it was fun to watch.
Because you're critiquing the sets
I'm just like,
and stuff.
There's so many things that they could have fixed. Like, why is it summertime in December in New York? This is not real. Come on.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's that there was a prequel that got me more. Have you seen the one? Then the sequel is actually a prequel where they go back and they do the original family.
No, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, and that one fucked me because the kid puts on his headphones in the movie, and the devil or the demon or whatever starts talking to him through his headphones. And like, I'm constantly got headphones on,
that's
recording
freaky.
podcasts, editing shit. So I'm like, sometimes at night when I'm editing shit, it gets to me,
So I got this new gig in Memphis that I'm like the co-host of a radio show. And they were telling me that sometimes, because the place is haunted that I'm playing, whose studio did it say it was? Charlie Pride or Charlie somebody? Charlie Rich's studio. And the place is literally haunted. And sometimes when you have the headphones on, you'll hear things talking to you. And I was like, oh, that's actually happening. That's not something I thought was just over like feedback from somewhere else.
No shit.
Something's in this headphone. Okay, I'm bringing my own headphones no more. This is creepy.
yeah. Take them to have the Father bless your headphones.
Have some flies, Father. Here you go.
Were you raised Catholic at all, or Christian, anything like that?
Actually, I was technically raised Catholic. Technically, I went to Catholic school for 13 years, so I know all the bullshit. But I'm not. I actually here's a frightening. At one point in my life, I was a youth group leader.
Oh, interesting.
Now I'm pretty much an atheist and tell people to go to hell. So,
well, do you think that's where you got the bug to get on stage and talk in front of people?
Oh no, I've done that since I was a small child. This is a stupid story, but it's true. I used to get joke books from school, memorized joke books, and every time I get my hair cut as a 5 or 6-year-old kid, I'd do like 5 minutes of memorized jokes for the barbershop crew.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
They're like, "Why are you doing this?" I don't know. Why not? Fun.
You're definitely like a lifer in comedy,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because I mean, I wasn't introduced to you here until Anthony Crawford came to town, which was probably around 2013, 14.
Yeah.
Because I just started doing comedy, then Crawford came to town.
Okay.
Doing his thing.
Crawford's my boy. I love Crawford.
Yeah, he was constantly, singing your praises. So
it's so weird too, because how we met is a weird story. But see, part of the story, you don't know the whole story, because he used to go by a name he used to call himself Chameleon.
Right.
Chameleon, right?
Yep. Okay.
And what happened was, this is probably like 2004, 2005 when I first met him, and I had done a show, and our mutual friend Carlos Valencia. There's 2 Carlos Valencias who do comedy, which is weird.
Okay.
Not the one in Colorado, the one in North Carolina. Me and him had done a show, and he's like, "Come on, we'll take you to this open mic." And we go to this open mic, and Anthony is just destroying. And he was like, "Give it up for Chameleon." And I'm just like, no. Mm-mm. So I pull him to the side, and we have a talk for a few minutes. Like, dude, you funny as hell. He's like, "Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. You can't call yourself Chameleon no more. You cannot do that. But you understand? No, you're not. I'm not gonna let you do this. I know you don't know me, but I'm gonna tell you right now, stop that shit." Then he showed me his chameleon tattoo. I'm like, "You need to stop that shit right now. Stop it. Use your real name. We are not letting you be stereotyped as this black comic, even though you're a black comic, because they try to stereotype you." Okay. It's like, "Oh, let's put him. Oh, Chameleon, one name, black comic. Let's stick him on Negro Night." No, we ain't doing this to you. Your name is Anthony Crawford. That's your name? That's my name. Don't call yourself Chameleon. I'll kick your ass. I'll kick you in the ass if I see it again. And then we became friends instantly. Right. I found out later on, much later, like last year, like, I was really hurt after that, but I feel like you were real, and that was a real thing to do. That's a real. I'm like, shut up. Come on, let's drink.
I mean, a lot of big one name comics have made it.
Yes,
I mean, they're household names in a way. I don't know how household name.
Well, yes,
some of these guys are.
But if you
Hurricane,
if you look at where they play, if you look what they do to you, they try to put you in a box.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, So Earthquake is coming.
There
We
you
know
go,
it's gonna be a
Earthquake.
black crowd.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be a black crowd this
Yep,
weekend. Oh, it's gonna be, so I'm like, they try to do to me like, we're gonna call you Big Mo. No, you're not.
Oh,
No, you're not.
interesting.
This one club owner, and I would say I don't care. This one club owner in Chattanooga, Tennessee, used to call me Big Mo's coming. I'm like, all right, little Mike, and then he stopped it. He stopped
Yeah,
it
yeah.
right then. The first time I called him Little Mike, he was like, all right, I see what you're going. Yeah, it's Mo Alexander. Get it right.
Not fucking around.
I'm not. I'm like, I'm not gonna be. You're not gonna put me in these one night things. Like, I'm not gonna come to town and do one night for you people. I'm a week comic. I'm a week long comic. I'm not one night. Let's have Negro night, and that's what we used to call it when they used to after Def Jam and BET Comic View came out. They tried to do these one-off nights every week, like it's Def Jam Comedy Night, where you'd have the 18 black comics in town go up and try to do 12 minutes each. So you have this long ass show. It'd be packed out because he called it Def Jam Night.
Yeah.
And none of the people had been on Def Jam. Maybe like one headliner would come through who did it, and it'd be like Doo-Doo Brown or something. I'm like,
Doo-Doo Brown.
real comic name. That was a real comic. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy here when I first started. His name was Intergalactic Negro, is what he went by.
Damn.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I might have kept that one. Intergalactic Negro.
You keep that one?
That's kind of cool.
Two names. It's two
names.
Yeah.
Intergalactic Negro. I like that. That's kind of.
He used to pull out a chicken.
Okay, stop right there. You lost me right there.
He used to pull out a thing of fried chicken out of his suit jacket. You wear a blazer, and that was his big closer.
No.
Yeah, okay.
There's a guy in Memphis. Memphis comedy is a weird place. Memphis is a weird town.
That's where you came up?
Yeah, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. And there's this one guy named Dennis. I can't remember his last name, but he was crazy. I mean, insane. And we did this one show off Airways, which is like the hood, deep hood. And it was a Christmas show. And he weighed 12 pounds. So he came in dressed as Santa Claus. He was drunk, literally, already just gone. And he's slurring his words on stage, and he's doing this bit, and people are like, man, you need to go ahead and get off stage. And he just pulls a knife out of his Santa Claus bag and stabs the wall.
Oh, shit.
And then just walks off. I'm like, I gotta go. I can't be a part of this.
How long did he stick around after that? How new were you in comedy?
I left immediately, but I think he stuck around in comedy for another 4 or 5 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you started, take us back then. What was Memphis like back then?
Oh,
what year are we talking?
Ooh, I've been doing this a long time, dude.
Yeah, let's hear it. Come on, that's what we got to hear, the stories.
My comedy.
I don't
confess this. I don't confess to how long I've been in this industry.
All right, well, you don't have to.
It's been a long time. Just know that.
Okay.
The first time I met Ron White, he was still tater salad Ron White before he got famous. Okay, I mean, the first time I met him, he tried to get me drunk on Scotch, and I was like, no.
He wasn't a tequila guy yet.
He's a Scotch man. He's a Scotch.
I thought he had a tequila brand.
That's his former brother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
That's Alex Raimondo. He's got that tequila number one tequila. Number Juan. Yes. That's
okay.
That. Me and Alex. I flew home from a gig one night just to see Alex on stage, just to hang out with Alex, because me and him get in so much trouble all the time.
That's Ron White's
brother-in-law. Yeah.
Okay, brother-in-law.
And I walked in the room. He's on stage, and I sent 3 shots of tequila to him on stage, and he's like, "Fuck, Mo's here." I'm like, "Yeah, baby, let's do this."
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so he knows what's up.
Yeah, yeah.
So you like fucking with comics on stage like that?
Only if I know you. If we friends like that, yeah, we will fuck around daily. I mean, expect weird things to happen. Expect shots on stage. Hell, I might walk on stage, bring you a shot. You never know what's gonna happen. Because the thing about comics, if we love you, if you're another comic and we love you, we will talk shit about you constantly to your face. But if anybody else do it, we're going to stab them in the face, okay?
Gotcha,
and I'm going to bring you shot to tequila. We're going to have fun. We got to make stories. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been recently coming to terms with this as well. It's been like, I have a lot of Hispanic relatives, things like that, and they do give you a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just listening to something recently, and they were like, yeah, if they didn't care about you, they wouldn't talk about you at all. And I was thinking, just hit me, fucking 34 years into life here. I was like, oh yeah, I do give my friends a lot of shit.
Oh yeah.
And it's only because I like them. If I didn't do that, I've resented, members of my family and certain things for a long time.
Yeah,
but I was like, oh shit, I guess they did like me in a way.
We talk shit. At
Love
each other
might be an
constantly.
extreme, but
I mean,
for my family, anyway.
we talk shit constantly. If you're fun, if we like each other.
Yeah.
Comics, you know, one of a comic who we met probably 3 years ago now. Guy
Most
named,
partners also here in the room, just for the audience.
My main partner's here.
My main partner.
We're probably, don't worry about it.
Gotcha. All right. We gotta talk about that.
Well, that's fine. But one of our comic friends' name is Compton Smith, and he lost his arm in a car accident. Okay, and I mean, seriously,
No, yeah,
he lost his arm in a car accident, and of course, we're worried to death about him. But the first thing I said on his Facebook page after I knew he was okay, he was going to live, I was like, "Hey man, at least it wasn't your mic arm." Okay, that was the first thing. And people are cursing me out on his page. It's like, that's the worst thing to say. You're an asshole. And he finally woke up and saw it. All you saw was,
There you go.
he just had a whole bunch of ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you know, I love you. I'm glad you're alive, but I'm gonna give you shit now. and then we did a show together. And he's wearing a kilt. He wears the kilt on stage.
Okay, yeah.
And
Really
he had a
paint
suit
picture.
jacket on. When the suit jacket and the arm of the suit jacket had been pinned up, like, you know, it wasn't a full arm because he lost his arm, so he just pinned the jacket up to here.
Yep.
And I go out. I mean, as I get on stage, I give it up to Compton, and then we just spend 10 minutes on Compton. Like, look, you my brother. I love you to death, dog, but go ahead and cut that off. You need to commit. Just commit, because that arm ain't growing back, you son of a bitch. What are you trying to do? And we spent 10 minutes making fun of him. He's crying at the bar laughing.
Man.
People are like, I can't believe you're saying that. That's hilarious, but I can't believe you're saying it. Yeah.
I've been trying to get over this taking me seriously on stage, or like, I don't know, not on stage, but you know, like in life, you know. I think that's what, when I was younger, I wanted to be taken seriously. I wanted respect, you know. So like, that's why it's taking so long for me. Like, oh, I guess when they were giving me shit, that was a sign of love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do you think that like hurts comics to like wanting to be cool on stage or seen as a certain way besides just being like a clown or anything like that?
Well, I think everybody has to find their thing.
Right.
I mean, comics respect you if you're funny.
Right.
That's what it. I don't care what.
Not for your drip.
Not for your drip. That's the thing. Yeah, no one cares what you're wearing. If you can't be funny with it, we don't care. I mean, you can spend $5,000 on a watch and not be funny, and we're like, ugh, get away from me.
Yeah.
We're like, ugh, why are you talking to me? Don't talk to me. But no, you gotta. I mean, everybody finds their own style, and you can take yourself too seriously on stage, and that's gonna hurt you, because you gotta. Comedy is serious business, but you gotta have fun.
Right.
I always made a promise to myself, like, when I stop having fun, I gotta quit, because then it becomes a job. Yes, it's a career, but it's not a job, because no one likes their job. I love what I do.
Yeah.
My job is getting to the gig. After I get there, I'm there. Let's get weird. Let's tell some stories.
Get weird.
Seriously, let's get weird. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
We did a show Thursday night up at Comic Sense, and Shanae Ross was my feature, and she found somebody to play with in the audience, and immediately I wrote a joke, and then she tagged the joke for me that we were gonna probably give to Shanae later on about preschool teachers.
Oh,
Because she
okay.
was this one woman with a preschool teacher. She said, "Oh, that's a safe job. You don't have to worry about the kids." I'm like, "No, you don't have to worry about the kids at preschool. They're not strong enough to pull the slide back yet on the clock to be dangerous." And then she was like, "Well, you know, the best gun for a preschool is was it a revolver?" And she was like, "That could be a fidget spinner." I'm like, "Shut up. That's hilarious."
Yeah, that is funny. Yeah.
And I did the whole set. I did that night. I'm like, "Yeah, we could probably get that to her. That's funny." But yeah, just have fun. You gotta have fun. If you're not having fun, why are you doing this?
Yeah. I don't know. You don't have like a desperate need for approval.
No.
You know, nothing like that.
That's the thing. I'm beyond that. I am so far beyond. I don't need anyone's approval. I'm like, there's a thing. How long you been doing this now? You said how long?
It's like about 2013, 14-ish. Yeah, about there.
10 years. Have you reached your fuck you moment yet?
With people, with the audience,
With comedy.
I mean, I felt like terrible about it. I don't know about fuck you moment.
Let
I guess.
me explain what it is.
Please.
A fuck you moment comes at a horrible point. Like I think I got mine. I was in somewhere in Alabama doing a show at a hotel gig that turned into a nightclub as soon as I get off stage. and I hated these people so much. I just wanted them all to be dead. Even though I'm getting laughs, they're just stupid, and I'm just like,
Oh, and you're doing well.
I'm doing well, and I just hate them.
Interesting.
I'm just like, ugh, you laughed at that, you fucking ugh, and something just clicked with me. And the next night, I had to do another show like that, and there was no pressure. There was no pressure to be funny, and it just flowed out of me. It wasn't like I had to memorize anything. I wasn't thinking like I didn't know what the next line was gonna come out. It was gonna come out on its own. And that's the fuck you moment. It's just like, you know what? I got this no matter what. I'm going to have fun, and that's when after that your level goes up. Because before that you're worried all the time. You're just like, I hope I don't suck tonight. I hope I can't.
Yeah.
I hope
I'm
this
still
new
there.
joke works. And it's just like, fuck it, let's have fun. If it doesn't work, there'll be another show the next night. You can figure out what makes it work then.
Yeah, I read this book called Be Water, my friend.
Be Water, Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I've been trying to implement that more. Like, I just want to be in the moment, flow. Like, I am funny, so just be funny on stage. I do try to be clever with all my jokes. You know, I'm like, I want the wording to be a certain way. You know, I think, and if I could just be like water on stage, I think that would be better.
I think that should be.
What do you think?
I think that should change slightly. Because I understand the philosophy of Bruce Lee and the Be Water thing. I understand that. Flow in,
around,
flow out.
Yeah.
I would choose to change it to like be a non-Newtonian fluid.
Which is?
What? Why are you laughing at that? No, seriously, it's like, yes, you must flow when you need to flow, but when it comes to it, you must be hard.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, because you can play with a non-Newtonian fluid and make it jiggle wiggle all of the day long, but you hit that thing hard, it's gonna hurt your hand. And so you gotta be hard and flow at the same time. Have no fear on stage. That's
the no fear thing. Is that non-Newtonian fluid?
Yeah, what?
The fluid does not allow neutrons. Newton's law of viscosity. Yeah, can you give us a little more for the layman? You know, but just come on.
Non-Newtonian
break
fluids,
it down a little bit.
Non-Newtonian fluids are fluids that have two different states. Okay, it can always be a fluid when it's not active. Okay, like you can just put your hand into it and like, ooh, yay.
Like a goo.
Like a goo. Okay. Definitely it's a goo. It's a goo.
Yeah, like ooze.
But then if you hit it, it solidifies and makes it very hard. You're going to break your hand.
Okay.
There's actually a video land of the guy running on a non-Newtonian fluid, running on top of a non-Newtonian fluid. Because if you just step on it, you're going to sink. But you can run down it the whole length of the thing because you're putting pressure down and you're just moving fast. And it's fun.
Okay.
I met a comic who had a line about her tits being a non-Newtonian fluid, and I almost came. I laughed so hard.
Hitting your.
Yeah, it was like, girl, I love you so much.
Your erogenous zones right there.
I was like, that is so perfect. There you go, fluid mechanic class. There you go.
Interesting.
Sorry, I'm a science nerd.
Is it when the
right there? There you go.
Yeah. So is it when like the audience is giving you shit, you got to be hard? Or like, I don't know. How do you view the audience? Do you feel like it's a battle? You're like going to murder these people?
No. It's never a battle. It never should be a battle. If it's a battle, something has gone wrong. It's the way I do comedy because I have to sit down on stage because my leg is messed up. I used to walk around, but my leg got messed up real bad, and I have to sit on stage nowadays. I consider every show is the way I think about it is these are my best friends that I haven't seen since I've been on the road. I've been gone for 6 months. Let me tell you all the bullshit you've missed out on, and let's talk about that. That's why I like to do it like that. I like to, because, yes, I have material, but we don't always have to do the material. We can just play around.
Okay.
Yeah.
The confidence to play around, I think, is something I'm trying to work on. I believe I'm funny now, so I think I'm going from that.
You gotta have fun doing it, though. If it's not, see, right now there's a trend with all these fucking crowd work videos. It's just annoying. I mean, some of them are real, some of them are not. You're quick. I mean, that Matt Rife kid is very quick. He's very quick. I respect his crowd work. But then there's other people I've seen who I know personally, and I'm just like, yeah, I know what you're doing.
Yeah, I think I've heard plenty of comics on podcasts saying they think it's going to be the death of the comedy boom here.
It could be. It could be because now you get the audience is expecting you to play with them the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
And
They
you
are.
can't. I mean, there are a lot of comics who can't do that. I can do that. I choose not to because I want to do material that I have written and share interesting things that I consider funny. But if I have to play with the crowd, I can. I don't have an aversion to it. I like it actually, but I would like Thursday night show. I was supposed to do 40 minutes. I think I did. They said I had the longest set ever there because in the first 40 minutes of the show, I had done like 3 jokes.
Because you're just talking to the
Talking to the
audience. You're
crowd,
being in the
bring them
moment.
around, bring them into me, and yeah, it was great.
Yeah. You do have like a gravitas on stage. I could definitely tell that from just the pictures and the things I've seen. Sitting down definitely makes us be like, oh, a wise man is going to give us something now.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
let me tell you some stories, boy. Let me tell you some shit. You don't know shit about Miles Davis.
Have you noticed a difference in your shows? So now that you sit down and you'll bring everyone to you versus the walking around? Because I've heard people talk about like, oh, you have to be like a lion on stage, prowling it. Like Chris Rock, he's constantly going back and forth on stage, things like that. But like,
right.
But Cosby just sat there.
Yeah, and you can
scandal noted.
Scandal noted. Yes, I actually opened with about Bill Cosby and me sitting down. I used to talk about why my opening thing. I'll give this line out for free. I like to do my comedy like Bill Cosby used to do. That's why I sit down on stage, except without all the rape. Now
that works. That works.
And then we go into that story. But here's the thing: you can be in line at both stages.
Oh, okay,
you can be a prowling lion, or what? You can be in line. Chris Rock is a lion. I'll give that to him all days. Prowling the stage the whole time, and that, for people who don't know, is a pacing mechanism for him. Okay, that's how he knows where he is by what he does.
Like me on what bit he's at, by where he is at on stage.
Yeah, what he's doing is like it's like a his version
mnemonic
of iambic
device or whatever.
His version of iambic pentameter. It's like I'm over here.
Yeah, okay.
It's in his, as he's working the bit out. That's how he goes. He's walking the bit out, but when he gets there, he's still doing it like that. Cosby did the same thing, sitting down, because I'm still a lion, but instead of prowling for everybody else, y'all are coming to me.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to come get the food from me. And like, I'm still the king here. You're still paying me the attention, but you had to come get the food from me. I'm going to dish out the food to you like that. Here you go. Here you go. I'm going to sit down.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, because Crawford came to town. I remember his big contribute because to my stand-up specifically, because he did a couple podcasts on like comic advice to comics, things like that, and he was talking about you look at this side of the room. He like split the audience into quadrants. So he's like, talk a little bit over here, then you talk to part C of the room, and then bam, you give it to the middle or whatever. So. Are you thinking about stuff like that, or is it just more internalized?
It's all internalized now. I'm past the point of thinking about anything.
Yeah, okay.
I'm past that point. If I have to think, I'm failing.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
I like to go on auto. Now, see, there's 2 versions of autopilot. Autopilot board is when I hate everything and everybody, and I'm just trying to get through the night because apparently my shit's you rather not.
Yeah, what happened that night? Or was it you just didn't like the crowd? What happened? What was the difference between
something like that? Every crowd is different. You never know. Something happens. Every crowd is a little bit different. But then there's autopilot where I know my stuff that I want to do, but let's see whatever pops out of my mouth. I mean, I'm still here. I like it. This is weird, but I think she'll understand this too. She's saying it. I'm 2 different people. It's like Mo Alexander off stage before the show is different from the Mo Alexander you're going to see on stage. Because before the show, I'm just trying to chill and hide. On stage, I'm fucking in your face right here. Let's do this. If I piss you off with a joke too fucking bad, I don't care. I'm offended. Good. That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of this. You're supposed to be offended. I'm not a clown for you.
Would you say like you come more alive on stage, or you just cranking up? Which is the true Mo there? The stage guy or the guy?
Neither. There's another guy I lock in my head that no one ever talks to.
Dang.
That
sounds like the beginning of a horror movie, right
there.
It
really is. It really is.
The third guy gets out.
Did you ever see that movie by Stephen King, Chandra? What is it called? With the shit weasel. Dreamcatcher. Did you ever see Dreamcatcher?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
How he has that little house in his head.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I have back there, and I try to lock a couple things in there all the time.
Scary.
Yeah, that's for real.
Ooh. Yeah, so you were just recorded your album here, and not too long ago, the Mo Blues,
Mo Possum Blues.
Mo Possum Blues.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
The Mo Possum Blues. We actually recorded that at Sun Studio in Memphis. That's when
Wow,
we
where
recorded
Elvis
that.
was.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Dope.
got to stand on the Elvis X. You know, it's this dude.
And there's a stage. I mean, or there's like
There's
a
not a
crowd?
stage,
No, you
no.
recorded in a booth.
Not in a booth. Well, in a room about twice this size.
Okay.
That was the recording booth. That's the main recording. Well, that's the recording booth for them. Okay.
Uh-huh.
There's the engineer booth over here, but then there's the recording booth where they used to play everything live. So
Okay.
there's a piano right here. There's another piano over there. There's other bunch of instruments in the back. And we fit about 50, 60 people in that place.
Oh, okay.
And did 2 shows on one night and recorded Mo Possum Blues.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's on
it
record.
was very cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool, man. Because I'm like, these people know me in Memphis. They're never going to let me in this building. And then the record producer, Dan, it didn't become real to me until the day before because I walked through the engineer room booth. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm not supposed to be in here.
Yeah,
Holy
cool.
crap. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, Memphis, everyone thinks of music. So
Yeah.
was like comedy harder there? Was it, or did you have to guys like feel like you were fighting for recognition as like, artists or anything like that? Or was
we
it just
still
like,
fight
hey,
for
we
rec-
all do it?
No, we still fight for recognition in Memphis. I mean,
Yeah, because no one thinks of Memphis when they think of comedy,
no, no, not really. They really don't.
Yeah, I'm not trying to throw any shade or
No,
anything.
there's no shade being thrown. The biggest star out of Memphis right now would be Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones. I
Leslie
think Theo
Jones.
Vaughn is there now.
Well, no, Theo's Nashville.
Nashville. Okay, sorry.
Theo's Nashville. As I said, Leslie Jones is originally from Memphis, but she didn't start comedy in Memphis.
Okay, gotcha.
Lester Bibbs is from Memphis. He's probably the second biggest one. And then there's me. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty fucking cool.
I don't have a problem with it. But I'm never in Memphis. I'm really not. I have a house in Memphis just because that's where we live. But I mean, I think the month of July this year, the longest I've been in Memphis this year. Because normally I come out here in July because it's 1,000 degrees in Memphis in the summertime, and I try to get out of there and come here for a month. But we had to change up some stuff, so I came in here August this time.
Yeah. I've talked to some, some comics that are getting up there in age. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying I have, and they were talked about, they had to get over this hump of like, oh, do young people still think I'm funny? Can I be funny to them? I mean, do you find that because you just did some shows up in Boulder and you're still doing that? I mean, is there any block in your mind of like, oh, these young people aren't going to connect to what I'm talking to about or anything like that?
The people, this is going to sound so mean, and I'm not trying to be mean.
Do it.
The people who think that haven't changed their act in 20 years.
Okay. They're stagnating.
They're stagnating, yeah. And you got to constantly...
You're evolving.
You have to evolve. Like, I'm trying to write the new album right now. And I got like 20 minutes of stuff that I like now that will hopefully make it on the album if I don't have to put it out before then, because I'm still trying to write another 40 minutes. And it's harder now because I don't want to do a whole album on politics. I don't want to do that. But there's so much of the material I have to do right now because I have to comment on the bullshit I see. And because I'm constantly headlining gigs on the road, it's hard for me to go out and do stuff and experience new things and come back and talk about them on stage. So it's kind of hard. I'm in a trap right now. So I like to, most of my stuff is my experiences or things that I have been a part of or observed closely that we make fun of. And so I just need new experiences and stuff right now to continue on. Like, that's...
What's your mindset going up to Boulder? I mean, it's a college town. I think it's just
it's a
young
college
kids.
town, but it's fun.
Yeah, there's no disconnect.
There's no. I mean, last night we had a table full of a bridal shower, and all those always. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's like where you hear horror stories right there.
Yeah, they were okay though. They weren't bad. I made fun of them. I'm like, hey, y'all aren't using fake penis straws tonight. Thank you for being.
Yeah.
But they were cool. But other people, we had, I think, 27 people in that little room because it's a very tiny room last night. Very tiny, but very fun. It reminds me of this place I used to have in Clayton, North Carolina. We called the Comedy Shed because it looked like someone just stuck a small building on the side of the house where you put your lawnmower and shit and did comedy in there. And it's just like that, except this is like a room, like a rocked off room. And I'm like, this is cool. I like this place. I don't find myself being separating generations because stupid goes through every generation.
Yeah,
There's going to be stupid things. Now I have to change references sometimes. I will have to change references, but that just makes me work harder, which makes me fun.
that's so funny. I think I was just listening to Alonzo Bowden on some podcast, and I think he put out an album called like "Stupid Don't Get Tired" or something like that.
I love
Yeah,
Alonzo.
it's so funny. I saw him at Comedy Works
Yeah.
a couple months ago.
Oh man, that's
so
cool.
good. So good.
He's a great dude.
Yeah, I mean, just like man, I still see all these people on stage, and they say to watch watch headliners,
Mhm.
but then I'm very self-conscious of like, oh, I don't want to just start copying exactly what these people are doing.
Don't copy. You
can make it your own. It's another kind of Bruce Lee
once
thing.
again, Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
Bruce Lee comes back to it. It's
big
like,
Bruce Lee fan. Huh?
I am a huge Bruce Lee fan.
Me too.
Huge Bruce Lee fan. Jeet Kune Do. You got to do the Jeet Kune Do way. But the way, for those who don't know Jeet Kune Do, it was like taking the best of all these different artists and making it your own.
Yeah.
And they tried. There's this guy named, one of his students tried to teach Jeet Kune Do, and the problem with that is you can't teach a certain system to a person. That person has to figure it out for themselves. You can take boxing and kickboxing and wrestling and karate, but each person is going to find a different strength of those systems and make it their own. That's what Jeet Kune Do really is.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan. Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. I love that so much. I mean, it's a philosophy that's really stuck with me. Why do you think you were drawn to him?
I was a kid and he was badass.
Yeah, dude, for real.
I'm not kidding. He was a kid. I was a kid and he was badass.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? What is this dude? Bruce Lee, my uncle. Kevin is the first person who took me to a Bruce Lee movie when I was a kid. I was just like, they was showing what is it? The one in the yellow costume. What's it called? Game of Death.
Yeah, Game of Death.
And we saw Game of Death. I was like, yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar put a footprint on his whole torso.
Yeah.
Whole torso. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, so good. So good. Have you watched that show Warrior on HBO? It's like based on his writings.
No, I haven't seen that. I didn't know about this.
So
HBO Warrior?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely check it out. It's very good.
Okay.
And I'm a big fan.
Yeah, of course. Did you watch the Ip Man movies?
No.
You should watch Ip Man.
Yeah. That's like that's supposed to be the guy who taught him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you get to see, like, one of them is complete bullshit. The first movie is wonderful because it teaches how he came up. But then, like, the third one is complete. One of the I think the second one's bullshit or the third one, but first
the one
with
is Mike Tyson.
The one with Mike Tyson. That's the
I've seen that.
That's bullshit. But yeah, when he was in World War II and dealing with the Chinese people, and I mean, it was, dude. Yeah,
it's intense.
It's an intense movie. He's a badass, but he didn't want to be a badass, but he was a badass, and
the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a big thing with possums.
I don't have a big thing with possums.
Possums have a big thing with you.
Yes, that's what happened. The possums.
Yeah, what happened with the?
I was originally attacked by what we think is Poncho's grandfather at my house one day.
Poncho's your current possum.
Poncho is our possum. Poncho is a non-releasable possum.
Yeah, what do you mean by non-releasable?
Okay, so they're possums in the wild, okay?
Sure, okay.
And sometimes something happens to them and they can't go back into the wild. Like if they lose a part of their tail, if they're blind, if they have some kind of brain damage. Yeah.
How do they know if a possum has brain?
They walk around in circles.
Oh, okay.
They just start going in on little tight circles.
Oh, yeah, that's
it's not cool.
How'd these possums come into your life?
Well, Poncho came into my life because we were doing renovations originally.
In Nashville.
In Memphis.
Oh, Memphis, sorry.
It's okay. In Memphis, we were doing renovation in my house because it's an old house. And we're sitting there one day, and like 5 possums walks in my bedroom. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on here? This is weird.
Just the doors were open because you're doing stuff. They just walked in
and like, hey, how y'all doing? I'm like, what in the hell is going on? And like a couple weeks later, another one came in, but it turned out to be Poncho.
Okay.
He was like this little tiny baby, just tiny. And when you get a possum that small by himself, the mother has abandoned him.
No.
So he has no place to go. You can't just throw him outside and say, go live, you'll get killed in 5 minutes.
Yeah, don't tell my wife. I found out my wife loves little possums.
She should. They're awesome little dudes.
Because for the listener, you offered to bring your possums with you, and my immediate response was no, thank you.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I laughed so hard. He's like, no, thank you. I'm like,
yeah, it was a part of the text conversation with Katie trying to book stuff. And because we had the dog, we had the cat, I was like, well, I didn't know they were domesticated animals. I didn't know they were like nice little things that like
they're
can't get rabies. They're very clean.
They're very clean. They're clean. They're smarter than.
I didn't know this.
People say some people think they're smarter than pigs.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's pretty fucking smart.
Well, we had someone babysit Pancho for us while we were in the Bahamas, and she called us. He had the possum sitter, and she called us from the Bahamas one night. It's like, okay, your possum is using tools. I'm like, what?
Whoa!
I was like, yeah, he pushed a chair over so he could get into the chair and then open the door. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
That's a smart possum. They got thumbs?
He has opposable thumbs on his back feet. Yes.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they really do.
Yeah, that's getting in. It's getting in some real territory there. So these possums came into your house. You're
Pancho
like, I can't
came in first.
One.
Pancho came in first, and he was very tiny, and we couldn't throw him out. So
you just knew this about possums. You do research?
No, we didn't know what to do about. We did not know. We knew she got into the groups and started figuring out what we need to do to him because we knew we want to raise a healthy possum.
Okay.
Because he couldn't go back out.
You're just like, we're keeping this. There's no
he couldn't
put
go
it
back
outside.
Out. He couldn't go back out. He imprinted on her hardcore.
Oh, okay.
She's mom.
Oh.
She's mom. He follows her all through the house, everywhere.
That's cute.
He's about 12 pounds now, 14 pounds, 15 pounds,
Dang.
and he'll rattle her shoulder like a damn parrot.
It's a bowling ball right there.
It is. He is. His ass is like a bowling ball. He doesn't understand. He's too big to rattle her shoulder. He just does it anyway, and he's adorable. And but he's non-releasable now because he hates outside. So I don't know what traumatized him with his losing his mom or whatever, but we take him outside. We try to take him outside to go pee. So he's like, as soon as he goes down on the grass, he's like, nope, and like grabs onto her leg, like, take me back inside. This is bullshit. And he does that. But we have two. See, look at it. Look how cute that little picture is. Look at him.
Yeah, I mean it is cute.
He's adorable.
The claws don't. You have to like file them down or anything.
You have to cut the toenails. But
like a cat or whatever.
Yeah, but there's nothing weird.
No, yeah, I'm trying to get to know it.
But we just got 2 new ones because a friend of ours rescued 5 baby possums that were drowning in her basement, and we didn't know where their mother was. So, yeah, there they are. There they are right there. Yeah, that's all. Those are the 4 she found originally, and then she found a 5th one, which is Zoe, which is what we have Zoe. So that's Pancho just chilling.
Okay.
And yes, that is Templeton and Zoe right there.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, and
so they found you.
Yeah. So we took the other 3 to a rehabber who does this for she takes care of possum.
Okay.
When she met us in Nashville we met her halfway. She had like 40 possums on her in her car.
Oh dang!
40 baby possums in incubators taking care of possums. I'm a possum person. I guess
so. Yeah.
Yes. I mean,
they get along with the dogs.
Yeah. Pancho's unfazed by most other animals. He's like, we went to our friend Piper's house last year, and he was kind of scared because there was this really big dog. And he was drooling like, oh my god, don't touch him. But then afterwards, he's like, oh man, whatever, I got you. And he doesn't know to be scared. He's just cool.
Yeah.
He hangs out. He sleeps. He eats.
That's very nice. Yeah, it's very
Gets
sweet.
on album covers.
And you bring them with you everywhere, huh?
Shh, we don't tell that to
okay.
anybody.
Sorry. Yeah.
He actually is the most. He's actually. I need to put this in Wikipedia at some point. He's actually the world's most traveled possum. He really is. He's been to both coasts. He's been all over he's in many comics love him. Brian Posehn loves Pancho.
Okay.
Eddie Pepitone loves Pancho.
Well, damn, I didn't know I refused the famous possum there. Damn.
Yeah.
You should have listed his credits.
Yeah, he has credit. He really does. Yeah, he has his own Instagram account.
Wow,
What's the Instagram, babe? Pancho? What is it? Pancho Possum? Pancho and Friends, or what is it? There he is, right there. That's his Instagram account.
Yeah, it's the first one that came up.
Yep. And we put another 2 up there sometime too. Now they're just hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's very cute.
Oh, there's a sugar glider on there too. We have a couple of sugar gliders,
Oh, wow.
which are also possums, but they fly. they fly.
Yeah, so and you said it hangs out with you in your bed. You sleep with it.
I try not to sleep. He can get in the bed sometimes. I have no problem with him being in bed with me. But here's the rule. If he's gonna sleep in the bed, I have to have a sheet over me, and he cannot touch me with his cold, wet nose. Because he was like, because Pancho really wants to. Like last night, we were trying to go to sleep, and I'm like trying to lay down. And I'm like, well, okay, move, Pancho. He just stuck his nose in my ass. Nope, we're not doing this. We're not doing this, Pancho. And we put him between the sheets, and he just walked into the bed and just went to sleep at our feet. And I'm like, all right, that's all right. I can deal with that. I'm like, yeah, stop that.
So kind of like a dog.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dog cat hybrid.
Yeah, they groom themselves completely. They're not dirty animals. He uses puppy pads. He has his own water.
Shit.
Yes,
that is a smart animal
he
right
uses
there.
puppy
What does
pads.
he
Yeah.
eat?
Huh?
What does he eat?
What does he eat?
Yeah,
Talk to
like
her.
dog food or
No. Okay, so we have a company. Let me just say we have a company named after him.
okay.
The company's called Bougie Possum. Okay, because he won't eat certain things. Like we finally got him to eat a bug this year. He was like, we tried to give him a bug a couple years ago. He's like, "Fuck you! I'm not touching this. Get me. Where's my avocado sauce?" She makes him this stuff that she calls floof. But what is it?
It's spinach and broccoli, and it's got cheese, it's got calcium, and it's got brewer's yeast in it.
She makes this
I make it up
concoction,
for him.
and he just puts his face right in it.
You puree it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna ask what you'd like.
He
won't
hates
eat some.
solid vegetables. Possums are weird. He just won't. He's a bougie possum. That's what we got to tell
Bougie
him.
possum.
He
for
really
sure.
is. It's hilarious. He does eat rats. He eats mice.
Okay, he'll eat a live thing.
No. We have to get the
Okay,
frozen
he's not
ones.
catching them. He's not
No.
catching them. Okay.
No.
Twice as calcium to protein.
Yeah, get something called metabolic bone disease. You don't want that on a possum, but yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing about possums. You've got to learn their diet. You will mess up. You will hurt them.
Yeah.
I studied. My head was in, and at first we weren't feeding him the right stuff, but I figured it out like within 2 days. Like, okay, and he's beautiful and doesn't have it.
He's wonderful.
Awesome.
He's awesome.
No, yeah, it's cool that you guys are really, attached to the possum.
I'm a possum advocate.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't know.
I mean, she occasionally will be driving somewhere, and she'll occasionally stop by the side of the road and see a possum that's been hit, and
damn.
make sure no babies are in there, just because we'll drop those off at a rehabber to take care of those. We can't do it. Yeah. I love these little dudes. They're weird. I never thought from being attacked by a possum to now having 3 non-releasable possums.
3 non-releasables.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they can't survive in the wild, basically. So
Right.
How long do they live? Average lifespan.
In captivity, 4 years, hopefully. Outside in the streets, 2 years. If you get a 2-year-old street possum, that's an old possum, and he got some stories. Yeah. So,
right on. Oh, shoot, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, staying on to do the podcast, talking about some creativity stuff. You can touch on that a little bit. I have some lightning round questions I ask people, or
let's do this.
or we've been kind of doing like a pitch for a movie. I think it's kind of fun. Like, it's just a quick little thing. Doesn't have to be a whole thought out thing, but however you want to end the podcast.
Let's do the question. I want the questions. I like questions. I'm a weirdo like that.
All right, all meant to be in fun.
All
okay.
right.
Who do you think you are?
That's a good question.
Who do you think you are? There you go. That's better.
I am not Doctor Who.
You a big fan?
I'm up until
More of a Tenet guy?
I did like Tenet. What was the guy's name? Matt Smith is also very good.
Okay.
Matt Smith. He was But I'm also an old school doctor. Give me what was the guy's name with the curly hair and the scarf? I can't remember his name, but he was a good one too. Can I remember his name to save my life right now? Anyway, but yeah, who do I think I am? I'm a funny son of a bitch. That's who I am.
Nice.
I am a funny son of a bitch, and I have an attitude about it, but not really. I try to be cool.
Do you think was there ever time you had a chip on your shoulder? You're like, I should be bigger than I am, like famous,
I
more
should
famous.
Be bigger than I am right now.
Yeah,
that's for real. I'm not gonna lie about that.
That you battle with at all?
I do, because I have friends that are just like, one of my closest friends on the planet is Roy Wood Jr., and I love that son of a bitch. So I'm so proud of him. I mean, I'm so proud of him. We both did Star Search together.
Oh, nice.
We both made the cut for Star Search, and then I got bumped at the last minute, and he did not.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I love you, brother. Keep going on. Much praise.
Yeah, I mean, that's great that you're able to, be gracious about it, and not fuck everybody, fuck this.
No, I want my friends to make it. I want all my friends to make it. I have no problem saying
Chameleon. What if he went back to Chameleon?
I would love for Anthony Crawford to make it. I already told him, as soon as you do, if you feel something heavy, that's me on your coattail, bitch. Let's go.
That's hilarious.
Let's go. I don't have a problem with that at all. Next question, please.
No, I just know that sometimes I can get kind of bitter about
really?
Certain Yeah, I've been trying
don't
to work
do
on that. I'm trying.
Let me tell you something. It will eat you to the point where it will hurt you.
Yeah.
Don't be bitter.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
It don't. Just have fun. As long as you're having fun still, it's worth it.
Trying to have fun. Yeah. I know my thing is like, some people are like, did you have fun up there? Or are you having fun? I'm like, once I'm done, we'll see, how my set went. Then I'll tell you whether I had fun or not.
Yeah.
Which might not be the best.
When I said that I'm not the same person on stage that I am off, it's literally on one of those shows. It's like I come off stage and I'm not sure what has happened, and I have to ask her, like, what just did, was that okay? And she's like, yeah, they're standing up, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll be over here for a minute because I have to get back into my space. Not into the Mo Alexander on stage space, because that's a whole different entity.
Yeah, and that's not, your self-esteem isn't hinging on how you did on your last set.
Oh, no, I'm not. If I have a shitty set, I'm not going, I suck at comedy. I'm like, whatever. Everybody has one. I've seen Chris Rock suck one night. Everybody has every comic on this planet has sucked one night.
Sure.
It not, it happens once every 4 or 5 years. You have a shitty night, nothing works. That's okay.
Just move on from it.
Just move on. Don't let that energy hold you back.
What makes you so great?
Huh?
What makes you so great?
I'm Mo Alexander, and I'm relaxed, and I'm awesome, and I take care of Possum.
What motivates you?
Trying to be the funniest, darkest comic on the planet.
On the planet?
Yeah.
Damn. That's
Yeah, trying to be the funniest, darkest comic out there. Because I'm not I'm a friendly human being. My comedy's not necessarily friendly. It's truthful. That's the thing that gets me in a lot of trouble. My comedy is very truthful. Me and Derek Sheen will argue about this because he said, as long as it's funny, it doesn't have to be the truth. I can't live too much like that without telling. My truth is my comedy, and I kind of try to keep it as real, as close to the truth that's funny to me that I possibly can. I tell people 99% of my act is 100% true. That 1% is way fucking weird, but the rest of it's real. I really was attacked by a possum in my house. That happened. That didn't make me up. That really happened. And then the story goes, different parts happen at different times, but we combine them all in this one story, and now that's the Possum story.
Yeah. Is that on your last album?
Yeah, that's on the album. That's
cool.
Mo Possum Blues is on there. Track number 1.
Where can you find those?
iTunes and Amazon right now. Yes.
Sweet.
Yes.
Also,
the video is on Vimeo.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we recorded the whole lot. Yeah, there's a video. You can go watch the whole. It's only like $3. Go watch my video. There's even a song. Actually, let me record a song. I have a blues song. That's what you saw that little album. There's a white album you keep showing up here. Hold on. Go down. No, go down on that one right there. That page right there. Right here. That is a live recording of a song called Mo Possum Blues. That is a true blues song, and I'm literally singing it.
Cool.
Yeah, we recorded that inside of Sun Studio as well. And Pancho was there sitting on my shoulder as I sang the thing.
Damn.
I'm not even kidding.
Wow. A lot of things are coming together.
Yeah.
I mean, this possum thing is really,
Yeah.
it's like your spirit animal in a way.
He is. We've named the company Bougie Possum after him. So,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who thought a possum would wander into your house and into your heart,
Never in 1,000 years after that was.
That's
Never
very
in
funny.
1,000 years did I think a possum would be one of my best friends on the planet, just hanging out on my shoulder, eating cheese,
Are you an artist?
Just fine artist. What do you mean? Am I an
I mean-
artist? Is my comedy
I
art?
mean, you don't have to
Yes.
paint to be an artist.
My comedy is my art. Yes, I am an artist. I consider myself an artist when it comes to comedy, because I'm not up here doing street jokes. I'm not stealing other material. All the stuff that I talk about either has happened to me or someone very close to me that I have shared that story about. So yeah, and I've fixed it to where it makes more sense. But yeah, I consider what I do in art. Yeah.
Well, the next question is, what is art?
Well, art is something that's at least one person does that they share with everyone who wants to be shared with. I can't make someone love comedy, but I can share with you the comedy that I have. And you could either like it, like all critics, you could either like it or not. But it is what it is. This is something personal from myself that I give out to others.
Yeah, you're saying that you want to be a dark comic. I mean, you seem like such a happy, go lucky guy right now. Just to be
but-
dark. What is that like?
The dark shit makes you laugh.
Like death? Are we talking about what's dark? What are you considering dark?
My mother died of cancer.
Okay.
And the funeral story that happened to I was in the Bahamas when my mom died, and I couldn't get back home for 3 or 4 days. So my aunt, her sister, did all the funeral arrangements, right? So this is on an older album. I think this is on, I'm not sure what album this is on. It's just type in Mo Alexander, you'll see the funeral story somewhere in iTunes. So my aunt, for some reason, asked to get an African American priest, because Catholic, right? So she asked for an African American priest, and unfortunately, they were fresh out. So what we got instead was this African priest, and this is absolutely true. I have witnesses to all this. So we get this African priest. So I'm in the front row of the pew, and he comes up, starts doing this thing like, in the name of the Father, the Holy Son, click, and the Holy click, 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 all that click, click. I'm like, my great aunt is crying. She's like, I haven't been to a Catholic mass in 50 years. They still speak in Latin. I'm like, that nigga just clicked. Okay, that's not Latin. That nigga clicked. I don't know what your problem is, but and the whole thing, and every other word. This is no joke. I have witnesses. Click, oh, they still click, click, oh, click, 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 click. I'm like, oh my fucking God, what is happening? I'm thinking I'm having this. He's clicking and doing his little thing every other time. My friend Spanky Brown, who's no longer with us, is also there, and he's one of the pallbearers. We put my mom in the hearse. He like, I got 10 minutes at your mom's funeral. I was like, I don't know what the fuck you just missed. I got 20. Okay. The darkest stuff is the funniest stuff. You might not think you should laugh at it, but you laugh at it because if you don't, you'll probably kill yourself. That's what dark comedy is for me. That whole bit is 100% true. I called him I told everybody that he wasn't supposed to be a priest. He was like the slowest Kenyan ever, and they told him to put some shoes on and become a priest. Because at the burial ceremony, are you Catholic at all?
Yeah, I was raised Catholic.
You're raised Catholic. You've been to a Catholic funeral.
Yep.
They take a little bottle of holy water, sprinkle some holy water down that bitch, say a couple words, and be gone, right?
Yep.
Right? This is true. I swear I'm not making this up. This son of a bitch goes in his little bag that he has brought with him and brings out a green and white top, not the orange, but white top, old ass Gatorade squirt bottle that has Gatorade taken off.
Okay.
It has Gatorade rubbed off. Okay, it's been rubbed off, and he squirts this down there. This is after he's answered the phone. Someone called him.
Oh,
This
shit.
is 2005, and he's on his cell phone. He's like, I cannot talk click. I got to go down click. This guy have to know it. And I said in my most polite voice, because he's on the phone for like 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah, you're giving him some time.
I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I didn't know I said it as loud as I did. I just said, unless that's Jesus calling you to teach you to speak English, probably get the fuck off the phone. And he heard that. There was a little roar of laughter from the back because I didn't know I said that loud. But he's like, I have to go. Click, and clipped up his phone, and then squirt bottle away. The whole thing is
That is
100% true. And
hilarious.
it's dark as fuck. People are like, I can't believe you said this about your mom's funeral. It happened.
Yeah,
Nobody
what do you mean?
believes me.
Yeah.
I have witnesses.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've been to a couple funerals within the last couple years, and it is weird because my family was raised Catholic, but my aunts and it was my aunt that died, and she was a very solitary woman, didn't do a lot of and like we didn't go to church a lot, so like they just kind of give the priest some bullet points of her life, and I felt like this guy, he's like an old school like Mexican dude, bald head, looked like he found Jesus in prison, kind of a father.
I know exactly what kind that is.
Yeah, and he's just like, he's got thick Mexican accent. He's like, definitely English wasn't his first language. And he's just he's like, Gloria loved reading and she loved her family. And he's like, when you die, it's like you're in one room. Mm-hmm. And you die and you go to another room.
Oh my God.
I'm like, Jesus. I mean, like, I was trying to think of bits. I'm not quite there yet, but yeah, funerals are a weird one.
Yeah.
Because it's just like I don't know. It's like they're trying to do their own like 5 minutes up there. It's like they're all doing an open mic setup there. Yeah. it's like no one's worked out the material.
One of my favorite parts that came from that, I was doing a show in Memphis one time, and a guy I went to high school, his brother is a priest, okay? And his brother, who's the priest, is at my show. And he came up to me, running up to me after the show. He's like, Mo, we don't know what he says either. We have no clue what the hell he's talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about. He's over in St. Michael's on summer. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I'm like, shut up, leave me alone. Leave me alone, Father, work over, leave me alone.
So I was going to ask you, does life imitate art, or does art imitate life? And that's a bit that just art imitating life right there.
Art imitates life, and life imitates art. If you have an interesting life, both happens, and you just have to figure out what's going on at that moment in time.
Right.
Yeah.
What gives you the right?
Because I'm so wrong.
So wrong it gives you the right.
I'm so wrong it gives me the right.
What's your problem?
Mountains.
Oh yeah, you're saying the last pod you hate mountains. Are you just sure it's not like you hate heights?
I don't like heights. I mean, I'm not,
because the mountain's majestic, beautiful.
Yeah, but then there's these things called cliffs.
yeah, that's part of it. Yeah.
I mean, if the entire Colorado spent half the drug money they've made from weed over the past 5 years just on putting guardrails on every square foot of these fucking mountains, I might like mountains a little bit more. But they don't.
Guardrails, I mean, that's an illusion. You'd rather have
I want the illusion.
Yeah.
Show me David Copperfield. I want the illusion. I don't. She was all happy in the redwood. She was like, oh, look at the redwood tree. I'm good. She's walking down this thing. And I'm like, oh, I'm about to drive by myself home. She's going to die. She's going to fall off the side of a mountain.
Is it worse to fail at something or never attempt it in the first place?
You never fail unless you don't stop. You never fail unless you don't keep trying. To fail means to quit. You stopped. You.
When you quit, that's when you fail.
That's when you fail. If you keep trying, you never fail. You might suck at it. You might have. You might suck at this. I suck at skateboarding, and I'm not gonna. Yeah. No, you just keep going. You got to keep going.
You seem like one of those guys who was good from the start. Did you ever have were your first sets bad, or were you?
My first set was amazing.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You have the confidence of a guy who was like, my first set was
sucked
great.
Ass, and I had to learn what I did right the first time for the next 6 months. Yeah, that's what it was. I'm not gonna lie to you. My first set, amazing. The second set, ooh. Because the first set, you don't know what you're doing. You just like, I had written all this stuff down that I wanted to try, and then the second week I tried some other stuff that I had just written again. It didn't work, and I had to figure out what I did wrong. So I had to go back and learn what I had done wrong.
Do you sit down and you write, or are you just letting these experiences happen to you, and then, like you said, telling your friends that telling the audience like you would your friends?
It's actually both. It's honest to God, both. A lot of it comes while we're in the car, or while I used to drive. I used to drive by myself a lot, and had to think. And I had to pull over by the side of the road and write something down immediately. a lot of it is just happened that I do it. But some of the longer stuff now, I have to write down at least. I've always written down the keywords. That's all I need.
Get some
I
bullet
need
points.
the keywords to
Possum.
figure out the bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, yeah, I was attacked by a possum. And the bits grow if you keep doing them.
So you
'Cause-
just find more tags, more avenues to go down on stage while you're saying
or
things.
something weird happens, and I was like, oh my god, that fits along with this, and
Yeah.
that makes so much more sense now. Yeah.
Yeah, I just read Rick Rubin's book on creativity, and I mean, it's not his idea originally, but like the creativity is like a muse that comes to you, and she has to find you working, kind of a thing. So
How do you prepare for your shows?
I mean, right now a lot of it is just re-listening to old sets, and then I've been going to a gym that has like a hot sauna, and I'll be kind of going over my set in my head, and then I'll just kind of, I don't know if it's because my brain's dying or something in there. It's just like I'm in a different mindset, so I just kind of go down different avenues, different alleyways down a joke. It's like, oh, this part about this lady, I don't explore that too much, or oh, I could bring this around and then tag it with this at the end. Because right now when I'm doing still like Comedy Works and stuff are like 4-minute sets,
Right?
So like they want you to tag it. They want to have like a callback at the end. You gotta, that's like, you did it, kid. You fucking did 4 minutes and you ended on a callback.
Yep.
Like, so that's kind of where my mindset is still with just like writing bits and like, how can I end this 4-minute set on a callback, kind of a thing.
Right.
And I've been just recently exploring doing like longer 15, 20-minute sets. I haven't had a lot of opportunities to do it here, to be honest.
I understand this place is, but
There's a lot of comics.
but you got to understand, dude. You're at one of these hotbeds of comedy. This is one of these places I tell people, you want to think you think you funny, go to Colorado. Tell me you funny after that.
Yeah, I do feel like
you either gonna tell me you either gonna become funny or you're gonna quit. One of the two.
Oh, that's cool.
Because y'all don't play out here, especially Comedy Works.
Yeah.
Whew, I love those people. I mean, you understand when Wendy gave me a call last year to headline downtown, I was trying not to freak the fuck out over the phone so she could hear it. I was
Nice.
like, I'm a professional. I've been doing this for a very long time. Nothing phases me. Mo, you want to work harder? Because seriously, that's one of the hottest clubs in America right there.
Nice.
That's dope.
Yeah,
both rooms are hot and just magnificent.
The South Club and the downtown.
Yeah, I've been lucky to do them both in the past year, and I'm just like, wow. Yeah, I love them.
So does Denver have a pretty good rep out there? I mean, you're out there doing comedy and all that.
I will. If somebody says shit about Denver, I will stab these people in the face for you people.
Oh, thank you.
I am a Denver fan, except when it comes to sports. I am a Denver comedy.
Gotcha.
I'm Denver comedy all the way. I'll tell people, you want to test your funny? You don't want to move to L.A. or Chicago? L.A. and New York, which you shouldn't do that because you're not going to get enough work anyway. Chicago, Denver, Austin before Joe Rogan moved there.
Oh, okay. Everyone's saying that's like better now. I mean, he's made it.
No.
He's making it into a powerhouse kind of a thing.
No.
Oh,
you got all his little acolytes who all moved over there.
Yeah.
And now it's basically
like a bro comedy in a way.
Yeah, it's all.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I listen to all of those podcasts
I am a fan
with all
of
those
Rogan,
guys.
but I just don't like the way some of those people. It's more making fun of people instead of making fun of the things they should.
Roasting is very popular right now.
It's not roasting. Roasting's fine. I'm not talking about roasting. I'm talking about, like, I watched Kill Tony and how they basically abused the open micer up there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, don't. I mean, okay, there's a difference between thick skin. Thick skin would just kick you off stage.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna sit there and berate you for 5 minutes of why that didn't work or something.
Yeah.
Let them learn. Don't be mean to them yet. Give them an opportunity before you be mean to them. And then if they're worthy to being mean to, they'll build a tougher skin and then they'll show you. But I just, I love Austin, but I don't know. Maybe I'll have to go to the comedy mothership in November when we're down there.
Oh yeah, nice.
Check it out. I like the Cave in the Creek. That's a great club.
Cool, man. Well, thank you so much for being on. Your wealth of knowledge. No, I appreciate it. No, I love it, but I know you guys have things to do. You want to try and get a nap in before your set. I got another pod coming in here, so
I got you. I do have to take a day. What time is it, babe? What time?
3:00.
Oh, I'm not gonna get to sleep.
Call me babe.
I'm not gonna get any sleep. I'm just gonna go do 2 shows tonight and scare the hell out of them.
Well, I appreciate you staying.
I
Losing
appreciate
some
you.
seats
Thank
to
you
be
so
on.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I let the guests sign us off however they see fit. I will say, be excellent to each other. Wakanda forever, and then
Wakanda forever.
However you want it. That's not just because you're here. I say that every pod. Okay.
Dude, the funniest thing one of the funniest things I've heard recently. There's some guy was on TikTok the other day, and he said Barbie, the movie Barbie, also known as Wakanda, the Black Panther for white chicks, and I'm like, God damn, that's hilarious. Look, follow me everywhere. Mo Alexander, that's me. Find me. I'm everywhere. M-O Alexander. Just follow me. Buy my album.